how do actors build relationships with casting directors?
By auditioning, by doing well, by showing up and not canceling on us the morning of, and just doing their job as an actor.
Hi, and welcome to Kelly, where we talk about life, your life and my life. And through Kelly, we hope to inspire. I have Jeff Karantza on the show today. Jeff Karantza is a casting director. You're also a producer. He cast for Fast and the Furious, for Black Panther, and you were also a casting director at one time for Tyler Perry.
Yep.
So let's talk about casting and what casting is, and some do's and don'ts when it comes to video auditions.
Oh God, we could be here all day.
No.
There's so many do's and don'ts in a video audition. But casting really for me is just finding a situation that rings true to a story. Mm-hmm. Finding the person that actually can read the material and understand that character and can bring that character forward. Because it's a lot easier to work with a person like that than it is to try to take somebody that is almost there on set and then push them into it. Mm-hmm. Some people are just naturally able to get certain kinds of characters, so they do very well with certain types of projects because that's kind of their wheelhouse.
Now, how do actors build relationships with casting directors?
By auditioning, by doing well, by showing up and not canceling on us the morning of, and just doing their job as an actor.
I smile because I just had this conversation with a parent recently who said, well, I don't believe that my child is really, fits the look of who they're casting. But I said, the problem is you're not auditioning. If you're auditioning, then you're building those relationships, and eventually somebody will see you. But you got to get out and you got to build those relationships. Absolutely. By auditioning.
And there have been times when we had someone walk in the room and it changed our mind about a character.
Right.
We decided that this was a better fit than the image that we had in our head because, we're doing a lot of the same things that the talent are doing. We're taking the script and we're analyzing it. We're talking with our directors and producers, and we're getting an idea of what it is that we want for that project, for that particular role. And somebody comes in the door and they knock it out of the park, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, that makes a lot more sense. Uh-huh. Why didn't we think of that? Uh-huh. So even if they don't feel they fit the role, they still need to go.
Right.
Because you never know what's going to happen. They might change their mind completely. I've had roles where it was a man and it flipped to a woman.
Right.
So,
or where maybe you don't fit this part, but I might like you and
absolutely.
See you for something else.
When I was still acting, I did a project for Swirl Films a while back, and I did a simple one day in and out. I played a cop in a TV movie that they were doing, and I got a call a few days later telling me to come in for a table read. Mm-hmm. And I was on my lawnmower in the backyard cutting the grass when this phone starts ringing in my pocket, and I was like, "What project?" Because I didn't submit for anything this week. Oh, no, the director liked you from the last one. They want you to come in for this one.
Yeah.
So I went and had another day player character. Uh-huh. And it was because I showed up and I did the work and everybody enjoyed working with me. They actually called my agent and told them that they thoroughly enjoyed having me on set.
Wow.
Because I was right there and I was ready and I wasn't, hanging in my room and I wasn't, dragging my feet. I got on, I delivered, they did 2 takes and we moved on.
Yeah, and you are definitely a hard worker. I've seen you to where you're green in the face from lack of sleep and working.
That happens a lot,
which,
unfortunately, in this business.
You started off as, you started off in acting, right? And then you went into casting. Yeah. And then you were a background caster for Tyler Perry.
Yeah,
and
I was the actual head of the department for extras casting.
Okay.
So I did anything with extras that came through me.
Okay. And then that led you to bigger places, Fast and the Furious.
Absolutely. I left Tyler Perry, and 3 days later I was working on Fast 8.
Nice. And don't you love saying that?
I love it. Tyler Perry Studios did a lot of good for me. I got to work on a lot of projects. It was a lot of hours.
Right.
I think on Boo Medea's Halloween, I was averaging 100 hours a week.
Yeah. Wow.
So, we did the prep weeks, and then we got into filming, and it was, 6 days straight. We knocked the movie out.
Yeah.
So that was the fastest I'd ever seen a movie done, 6
Wow.
days. And
That's
we only
crazy.
went into day 6 because we ran out of nighttime hours on day 5.
Wow. Do you get more rest now?
I do get a lot more rest now. I think I'm making up for all the time I missed.
Yes, exactly. What'd you do for Black Panther? We did additional photography. Okay.
And all of the reshoots in Atlanta. So there's some big crowd scenes where they have the big battle at the end where all the tribes are coming together and fighting. We did all those guys.
Okay.
Some of the stunts, we helped out getting them some of their stunts because they were completely consumed trying to get all those people that could handle weapons and actually pull the fight together. And then there's some scenes that we didn't see in it. I don't know what if they're saving them for another prequel or another
right.
Black Panther, but we had some day player roles that we cast on that one, and a whole bunch of specialties. And
What is it like working in this industry?
it's a lot of hurry up and then wait for a while, and then hurry up and then wait for a while. But I get to do working with Marvel. I was actually in the system, and going from the movies that I had to being in a Marvel system where now I'm in their databases and I'm working on their projects, and I'm going to the screenings for, like, I went and saw Thor Ragnarok, a couple weeks before it came out in theaters, and I brought my kids and they had a blast. And then we went to the red carpet for Black Panther, and I'm sitting around all these major talent and just in the VIP side. Actually, Tyler Perry was supposed to be sitting next to me.
Oh, wow.
And they moved his seats around to a couple different places. But yeah, it's just being able to share that experience and have my kids go to it.
Yeah.
That was their first red carpet experience.
Yeah, and just to give them that experience
they're
is
watching,
amazing.
They're watching Ludacris come in, and he's sitting across the aisle from us, and we got a major actor from Atlanta sitting in front of us, and it was just crazy. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
And that this film community has opened the door for that, because now I've worked in LA. I worked on a Philip Noyce movie with a good friend of mine, and just major directors. I worked on the last Gary Marshall movie. He will always be a legend as a director.
Right.
So getting the experience to do stuff that I never thought I would do as a kid, because I got a door open for me when I was doing Drop Dead Diva, and got to start doing some casting, and then immediately started running shows for this company, and kept pushing forward.
Yeah, and you always have your hand dabbled in some other stuff too. I don't know how you get time to do it, but you're also producing some stuff.
Yeah, I've got about 8 features right now that I'm working on as executive producer role. So we got some big budget stuff, some smaller budget stuff, anywhere from $1.5 million to $40 million.
Yeah.
We're close on several of them.
Yeah. Yeah, you just keep pushing.
Crossing my fingers. We got people coming up from Puerto Rico to come and look at our films, and that's going to open a whole nother door.
Yeah. So you wrote a book called The Big
Book of Talent Agents.
Yes, and that was, well, I'll let you explain it.
I as an actor, I was always searching for the next agency, or an agency in a market that I wasn't being repped in, or just reputable agents to be able to get into. And as a casting director, that's the most common question I get. Hey, how do I get an agent?
Right.
Well, you got to do the legwork. You got to find out who they are, find out who fits you best, and then how to get in with them.
Yeah.
But there's so many different opportunities in that for people that are shady to try to take advantage of you. And I remember when I first came to Atlanta, I had already been exposed to acting. I had done it before. It wasn't anything new to me. I got in with some circles of people that were trying to tell me who to go to. And I would get online and I would search. I would go and audition for these. And I remember the first one, walking into a room, and there was 20 of us sitting in this room. It's just rows of chairs. And they had appointment times like 30 minutes apart. And I'm thinking, what is going on here?
Right.
The first question they asked when we got us back into the office is, well, this is how much it's going to cost. Can you afford this much money?
Right.
I was like, wait a minute, agents aren't supposed to make anything until you get booked for something. So I basically told them, I'm not paying you anything. Your job is to get me work, and then you get paid.
Right.
Okay, well, thank you for coming in.
Right.
So the experience that I had, I know other people are going through. Because I talk to people all the time that have kids in the industry, or they're trying to get them in the industry, and they tell me they paid $5,000 to go to Florida, or they paid $500 for headshots that look like something they could have done in their living room.
Yeah.
So I took the legwork out of it, and I created a book that has a listing nationwide of talent agents, reputable, vetted talent agents, and it's a system that can grow. So if there are other agencies that want to add their name to it, there's a submission process, and I can vet them and I can put them in the listings.
Right.
But I got to the point where I was thinking, this is only about 70 pages.
Yeah.
How can I make this better? Because that's going to be kind of a really thin book. I want a coffee table. I want something that drops and you hear it hit the floor. So I started looking at literary agents, because writers, there's so many writers that are doing things around the market. They don't know who to go to.
Right.
So connecting with a good literary agent can change a writer's life, because they like the project, they can pitch it and sell it for them.
Yeah.
Or they can get them jobs on other shows getting work.
Right. So where do people find the book?
It's actually on Amazon.
Okay.
It's on Amazon and Kindle.
Okay.
So
That's a great help. I have that as
it takes it even higher, because I go to above the line agents, and then I have international sales agents listed.
Okay.
So producers can actually use this to get their film sold.
Nice.
So, and then it's ever evolving. We're adding more and more.
Yeah, and as the industry grows here in Atlanta, the scams grow. And I have the same thing. I have people that come to me for training, and they've made the mistake of paying thousands of dollars to be in some showcase
Absolutely.
when they don't have the training to be in the showcase
Absolutely.
to begin with.
And then the panels that they put together for the showcases aren't the people you really think
Right.
they are half the time.
Yeah. So, Jeff, thank you so much. I have for you just an array of chocolates to remind you, you are a gift and a gift to the Atlanta area. You're always out and about, and you've showed up at many acting studios to help educate people on acting and what you have learned through your experience. And that's so important, because if we're going to grow our industry, then we have to have mentors to do
Absolutely.
that.
You have to
And
lift it as a team. And
yeah,
not
and
just
most
as
people,
individuals.
when they get up to a certain level, they, it's hard to give back, and because they stay so busy, and you continue to give back. Thank you so much. If you have any advice to give to an upcoming producer, what would that be?
It's the same as acting. I mean, really, you got to decide what you want to do and then really pursue it. There's 1,000 doors slammed in your face before you get that one that opens up, and eventually, when it does open it up, it's like a floodgate. They all start opening up. It's just finding good projects to tap yourself into, and then really pushing the envelope. And
Now,
finding
what
the right
exactly does a
connections.
producer do?
So as a producer, mainly what I'm doing now is I'm funding projects.
Okay.
But as a producer, I'm managing the whole project.
So you would find people who want to invest in the project
Absolutely, yes.
and
Absolutely.
get it off the ground. Thank you so much for being in here.